Hello, Aldwyn, Altuney here, and it is September 11, and in Australia it's almost the end of September 11, and of course September 11 is synonymous with what we were fed a lot of September 11, 2001 in the mass media, where we saw planes crash into the World Trade Center in New York, and we saw these same images again and again and again, and we were told by the mass media that it was a coordinated attack, terrorist attack by Al-Qaeda. Now, since that happened, and it's absolutely tragic, obviously, that 3,000 people were killed in that attack and over 6,000 people were injured. Can you believe it was 17 years ago to today that this happened? Now, since that, there's been a lot of news come out in the mass media that actually go against what the mass media were promoting actually really happened with 9/11. I encourage you, if you're watching this, to do your own research on the truth behind 9/11. I personally believe it was an inside job. And the way the buildings collapsed, there's videos online to show there were bombs inside the building. There's a whole lot of evidence out there and footage that was not shown in the mass media, that if people do their own research and have a look at what's online, you'll be amazed at what you find. And then you can make up your own mind what you think of 9/11. But basically, the moral of the story today is to not believe everything that you see in the mass media, particularly not if you see the same footage again and again and again. And really, I believe there's a whole lot of reasons that 9/11, I believe, was an inside job. And it was to start the war on terror. Obviously, there's a lot of money involved. There's a whole lot of reasons why America, or certain people in America, would coordinate this and kill and injure a whole lot of their own people, because there's a lot of people that are controlling the world, ruling the world, that are sociopaths or psychopaths, and they really don't care. And it's hard to believe that sometimes. However, we've allowed certain people to control the way the world works for a long time, and it's great to see that people are starting to wake up and people are starting to research more and more into what is going on behind the scenes. And I encourage you, if you're watching this, to do that, to question everything. Don't just leave what the media tells you. And so we're in very exciting times now, guys. Very exciting that we can create our own media and we can share our own stories and we can enlighten people with positive news out there rather than negative news. And I always love to share what I'm grateful for. And I'm grateful for everyone watching this live right now. Hello, Andy. Hello, Terry, Rhino, Austin, Ag. Hello. What are you grateful for today? I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for my life and my health. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful I live on the Gold Coast. I'm grateful I'm off to Melbourne tomorrow to speak at an event on Friday night with the Awakened Authentic Entrepreneurs Group. I'm speaking about how to gain $1 million worth of free publicity. So if you're in Melbourne on Friday night, I'll be speaking in Ringwood. And then also on Saturday afternoon, I'm running my first half-day workshop in Melbourne, which is really exciting. So I'm from the Gold Coast. Those that are watching this who do not know about Australia, the Gold Coast is a fair way from Melbourne. It's a few-hour flight, and if you were to drive, it would probably take you about 2 days possibly to drive there. So it is a fair way away, and it's much colder than the Gold Coast, so I will be rugging up to go down to Melbourne. I love Melbourne for the arts. I love the culture. I'm grateful for the festivals in Melbourne. They've got great comedy there. They've got amazing food. There's so much I love about Melbourne, although I must say I do love to be near the beach. The Gold Coast is beautiful, and I love the fact that I do live on the Gold Coast, and one of the most beautiful parts of the world. So what are your thoughts about 9/11? Now, it's something that not many people want to talk about or know about. And it's kind of like, what do you think about fluoride? What do you think about vaccinations? What do you think about chemtrails? What do you think about microchipping? What do you think about the banking system? There's a lot going on out there that a lot of people are just turning a blind eye to. And I think it's about time that we started to wake up as a society. We started to come together and work together to create a better world. Fantastic video on YouTube called Tiny Dot, and I will put a link underneath this video in the chat box to share Tiny Dot with you, because it really shows pretty much what's going on out there. In saying that, I do believe in the power of one, and I do believe if we share more positive messages out in the mass media, we will inspire more people out there. We will work against things like depression and suicide rates. Did you know that nearly 1 million people a year take their own lives across the world? That's about one person every 40 seconds takes their own life. Absolutely tragic. I've had 3 of my friends that have killed themselves before the age of 45, and I have personally had depression over the years. So I think if you do have depression, and if you know anyone that has depression, it's very important to actually do things to combat that. So some things you can do is you can get creative. You can do some cooking. You could do some artwork, some poetry. Do something you love, like go to the beach. Think about things you're grateful for. There's so much you can do if you have depression. Depression is anger turned inwards. So you need a way to be able to express your anger and not bottle it up. And also, I think if people love their lives, there wouldn't be so much depression out there either. So I think if you can find something that you love to do and do that as much as possible, I think that would be fantastic too. And imagine the impact that that would have on people around you. If you love what you do, imagine how you will help inspire and uplift people around you. And same with positive news. Share positive news. I'm so excited. I'm off to Melbourne this week to be talking at the Awakened Authentic Entrepreneurs Meetup on Friday night. Thank you, Michelle Hanson. Can't wait to see you there. We've got about 30 people at least coming on Friday night. Can't wait. And then I've got the half-day workshop I'm running in Ringwood as well on Saturday afternoon. So if you are in the Melbourne area, come down and say hello. Love to see you. And it really is very exciting. I can't wait. I'm going to be doing half-day workshops actually in Melbourne, in Sydney, Brisbane and the Gold Coast over the next year. So keep an eye out for those. My background, for those that don't know, I have been involved with the media for 34 years. I'm a photojournalist by trade, and I absolutely love to help people get positive, good news messages out in the world. And I actually set up Good News Day on the 8th of the 8th. And if you go to facebook.com/The Good News Day, you'll see Good News Day. And we're always looking for good news gurus to come on board and share some positive news. So do you have some positive news? I'd love to hear from you. Hello, Danny. Hello, Judy. Nice to see you. Do you have any questions, comments, any positive news that you would like to share today? I'd love to hear from you. And my heart does go out also today on September 11, as we wrap up and come to midnight on September 11 here in Australia. My heart does go out to all the victims of September 11, to the 3,000 people that were killed, or 2,996 to be exact, people that were killed, and over 6,000 people that were injured. My heart goes out to all of you. And, what is there to say? There are some shocking things that happen out there. And there are also some amazing positive things that happen out there too. So I guess at the end of the day, it's about focusing more on the positive, less on the negative, and also waking up to what's really going on out there and questioning things. Don't just believe what the mass media tell you when it comes to headline news, such as 9/11. Do your own research out there. Hello, Hilda, my beautiful cousin, all the way from Norway. Hello. I'm so grateful for all the family I have from around the world. I have family all over Australia. I have family in Turkey, in Ukraine, in Greece, in Norway, in America, all over the place. I'm so grateful for all of my family from all over the world. We're very close and love them all. So much to be grateful for. I have a beautiful cat too. My cat's called Tiger, and I adopted him about 9 years ago, and he's absolutely gorgeous. And I'm grateful for everyone also who's supported all my animal action events over the years. I've done up to my 12th annual event now with the animal action events, and we're doing a fundraiser for horses this year, actually for a fantastic sanctuary here on the Gold Coast called Healing Hooves. And Healing Hooves have special needs horses that they take into the sanctuary that would normally be put down. They might be horses without eyes or horses who've got hoof problems, and they take them into this sanctuary, and horses that would have otherwise been put down, they actually save. They rescue these horses, and they do healing sessions with special needs people, which is just absolutely beautiful. And we're raising money for them this year. We've got a sit-down dinner event on the 13th of October on the Gold Coast. So if you're around then, I'd love you to join us at the Quality Hotel Mermaid Waters, and I will be putting some promo on that on my Facebook. Hello, Anna. Hello, Graham. So yeah, look out for that. There's also a few meetup groups I've started. One is called Mass Media Masters, and that's all about helping people get more positive. And that next event for that is on 4th of October. That's also at the Quality Hotel. And we've got Kent Bailey coming, who is a 4CRB radio announcer. And we're going to be talking about how to harness the power of radio. So if you're on Meetup, go to Mass Media Masters Gold Coast and you can become a member there and stay tuned with our upcoming events. And the other meetup group I've started is the Gold Coast Business Laughter Club, because I figure not enough people in business laugh enough. I think people get way too serious in business, and if you agree, put a comment in here if you think people get way too serious in business instead of really enjoying it and loving what they do. And as they say, if you love what you do, you never have to work another day in your life. So here's to loving what you do. I think that's very important. And I think if you're not loving what you do, then maybe look at how you can start doing what you love and love what you do. And if you love what you do, the money will come. I'm very grateful I do get to do what I love, and I love interviewing people. Hello, Nick. And on my YouTube channel, you will see I've interviewed heaps of people on there. I've got some fantastic interviews. And actually, if you know anyone with depression, we were talking about earlier, I've done a really great interview on my YouTube channel too with a lady called Tracy Corman about how to overcome abuse and depression. And we give a whole lot of great tips there to help people overcome depression. Because really, if you think about life, it's a bit like a roller coaster ride, a bit like the share market, you know, up, down, up, down, up, down, isn't it? Sometimes life is a bit like that. It can be a bit chaotic. You really need to be able to ride the wave of life or waves of life, or ride that roller coaster ride. You know, it's not about, you know, how many ups and downs you're going to have. It's, you know, staying on for the ride. And, you know, there's constant learning experiences and things that we can learn every single day. And I'm so grateful for all the lessons I learn. And as Michelangelo said at age 87, he says, I'm still learning, right? So we're always learning, and, you know, no one's perfect. So here's to making the most of this amazing life that we live. And thank you so much for joining me on this live. It is the 17th anniversary of September 11, and I send a big, huge love heart out to all the victims of September 11, and I also send out some positive vibes and some love to everyone who's watching this to actually go and do a little bit of your own research into the background of some other footage that's online. There's some amazing footage on YouTube that was never shown in the mass media around September 11. There's amazing evidence to show that it was an inside job. So have a look online, get educated. I know it was 17 years ago. The fact is there's stories coming out every day. There's things we're being told every day that's not necessarily true in the mass media. So I think it's very important that we become aware of this and we don't just believe what we're told in the mass media. So I could just talk for ages. I love doing these lives as well. It's something else I love. So what do you love? What are you grateful for? Love to hear from you. And thank you so much for joining me on this live. I'll put a few of those links in this chat here about some of those videos that I mentioned. So the Tracy Corman video, the Tiny Dot video, I'll put a few links down here. And if you're on the Gold Coast, come along to any of our events coming up, or if you're in Melbourne as well, come along and come and watch me speak about publicity on Friday night or Saturday afternoon. Hello, Claire, coming to us from America. Hope you're having fun over there. It's so great that, I've got some amazing friends in my life who are living the laptop lifestyle and having a fantastic time traveling the world. I just love it. And that's the beauty of what we can do now. Imagine once upon a time they didn't have aeroplanes. They couldn't explore the world as quickly as we can now. So I'm grateful for aeroplanes, and I'm grateful for people living their passions, and for the people that I hang around with is that I really focus on hanging around with positive people as much as possible, and people who are loving their life, because they're the kinds of people I want to be hanging out with. And for those that aren't, I want to be encouraging you to look at what you absolutely love doing and do more of it, because life is short. So what are you grateful for? As I said, love to hear from you guys. Put something in the chat box. What are you grateful for? What do you love doing? I'd love to hear about what you love doing. And are you doing what you love doing? And is there any way we can support you to help you do more of what you love doing? Can we like your Facebook page? If you've got some Facebook pages or links you want to stick in this chat box, I'd be happy to support you in doing what you love. Happy to like your pages. So put the links here, and love to hear from you. All right, I think I'll wrap up there because I've still got a heap of work to do, and I think it's past midnight now. But hey, because I'm doing what I love, I just keep on going. I will sleep eventually. And yes, I do sleep. I tend to just go, and then crash. So right now I'm in go mood. And eventually I will crash. But right now I'm going to stick with the energy that I'm currently feeling, and keep going and do some more promo and set up some events and et cetera, et cetera. So thanks for watching. Great to see you all on this live again. Thank you so much for joining me. Andy, Terry, Rhino, Austin, Ag, Danny, Judy, Hilda, Anna, Graham, Nick, and Claire. Thank you so much for joining me on the live, and anyone else who hops on after the live. If you like what you've seen, then share the love, share your links, and here's to living a fantastic life and making the most of every precious moment. Thank you so much, and I'll see you again soon with another live.